We need to talk about the story of Nomia Rosemary Ndlovu. She has been sentenced already, but more details about her case are yet to be uncovered. While this is because the beginning of her story keeps changing as more dirt is dug about her life. Initially, her story was that from the period of 2012 up until 2018, 6 family members had died mysteriously in her family while she was claiming insurance payouts on all of them. But as we learn more about the facts surrounding her life, it turns out she may have started the killing even earlier than what we know, but I will talk more about that on a separate video following this one. By the time she was arrested in 2018 March, her kill for cash strategy had earned her about 1.4 million, and she was planning to small family members. In 2012, her cousin's sister was and she claimed about 131,000 and only contributed towards her funeral arrangements 200 rands only. And then in 2013, her sister was killed and she claimed 717,000. Then in 2015, her boyfriend and baby daddy was. She claimed about 416,000 and contributed 60 rand towards the funeral arrangement of her boyfriend and baby daddy. In 2016, her niece, whose mom died in 2013, was and she claimed 120,000 for him. The list goes on, guys, with some of the hits that she had ordered against her family and loved ones were being unsuccessful in the process, and that is what actually led to her being caught. But first of all, let us unpack the events leading us to where we are right now. So in 2018, Rosemary Nomia Ndlovu had been in the police service for 14 years. She was working as a police sergeant at Tembisa police station. Her colleagues described her as a sweet and loving person who used to buy them lunch at work. But according to Colonel Ntibe Boluka, who was the station commander at Tembisa where Nomia worked, her character became questionable in December 2016 when about 20 people rushed into church office complaining against Nomia Ndlovu. Those people said they had loaned Nomia money and were demanding payback. One of those people was interviewed and she was a Mashonisa who said Rosemary owed her 56,000 and later paid her back with money that she had borrowed from another Mashonisa. These news were shocking to the station commander, as no such thing has ever happened at the police station before. But at the time, Colonel Boluka just filed away the information at the back of his mind, as he says, and he went about business and running the station. But this took a shocking turn in 2018 when one of the men Rosemary allegedly hired to end her sister's life turned out to be a police informer. This informer went to the station commander and told him how Rosemary was planning to end her family. The informant said Rosemary had first asked him to end her mother's life, then she asked him to end her sister's life, including her nephews and nieces in Mpumalanga. The man felt sorry for Rosemary's family and decided not to carry the job and tell the police instead. Colonel Baluka passed on the information from the informant to the Provincial Crime Intelligence Unit, and the plan to trap Rosemary began. On the 7th of March 2018, she was caught live on camera directing the hired man on how to carry the job, which would turn out to be the 13th charge she faces now, of either killing or trying to kill family members for insurance. On this day, undercover cops pretended to be hitmen. They traveled to Bushback Ridge in Mpumalanga with him. She wanted to show them exactly where her sister's family lives so that they can burn down the right house. The police mounted a secret dashboard camera in the car they were traveling in. On their journey to Mpumalanga, Rosemary starts talking, instructing the men on how to carry the job. In the video, she can be heard telling the men to kill her sister Joyce and her 5 children, which include a baby. While being secretly recorded by the camera, Rosemary said she wanted the men to burn their family house down while they slept in it to make it look like an accident. When the men asked her if the insurance is going to pay for the kids as well, she responds and says no, but they should not leave anyone behind as they will be witnesses. She even says it's easy to get away with murder when you kill with fire because those cases are not properly investigated by the police, as they simply assume it was an accident. They assume that it could have been fire or a stove, a candle in the house. It makes sense that she is even saying this because she worked as a police sergeant and she knows how these cases are being investigated. So she knew and she had a proper plan to escape it, because to even make sure she is not connected to this incident, she had booked herself to check into a hospital on the evening of that day the job would be carried. She had booked herself to check into a hospital back in Johannesburg while the job of killing her family is being carried in Mpumalanga. On that 450 kilometers trip to Bushbuck Ridge, Rosemary began discussing her plans to end her family's life. She tells the hitman that she will give sleeping pills to her sister and tell her to drink them to prevent flu. She also says she will ask her to give the pills to the children as well, as she wants them not alive because they will be witnesses. She tells the man that after the pills make her sister sleep and her family, they should break into the house and stuff socks into their mouths. Then the man should set the house on fire with her sister and her children inside. She says the insurance companies will pay double if there is unnatural death for the deceased that she will be claiming for. She tells them that she needs the money to pay her debts. They also stopped at a petrol station in Middelburg where she asked a petrol attendant to fill a 2-liter bottle with fuel that would be used by the men to burn her sister's house. On their trip to Mpumalanga, she did not know this whole time that she was being followed by the police who were corresponding with the hitman that she was traveling with. After meeting with her sister alone, she left the house heading for the taxi rank, not knowing that the men that were pretending to be hitmen had already tipped off the police and the police were on their way to arrest her. She was arrested at a taxi rank while trying to catch a taxi back to Johannesburg, while leaving her family to perish in fire for her to get money. So this is the end of this part. Please subscribe and stay tuned to know what happened next and how she used the money and what happened next. I love you. Bye.